Hi, I'm Frank, and if your erections seem weaker, softer, less full, or don't last as long as they used to, if you notice less sensation in your penis, or you don't feel that same raging lust and desire that a man should feel when he sees a beautiful woman, or if you felt the debilitating humiliation and shame of being unable to perform for your partner, who you and I both know is beginning to get frustrated with you. If any of that describes you, then pay close attention to what I'm about to tell you in the next 3 minutes, because in today's short video, you'll see how a 76-year-old patient's pathetic sexual performances that had his wife 1 foot out the door, led to a shocking discovery by a Harvard-trained doctor about the root cause of weak erections, and a revolutionary new way for men of any age to achieve thicker, longer-lasting, rock-hard erections on command. As strange as it sounds, this 76-year-old didn't experience these jaw-dropping erections until he spat in the face of conventional wisdom, threw out his dangerous blue and yellow pills, swore off testosterone replacement therapy, and instead mixed 5 delicious, firming fruits into a tasty beverage that the doctor ordered him to drink. This strange yet tasty remedy helped spring his penis straight up and back into action, giving him raging, rock-hard, rock-star stamina and energy that he hadn't felt since he was a teenager. This secret recipe was passed down by dozens of emperors in the advanced Aztec civilization. When Spain conquered the Aztecs and caught wind of their resurrection remedy, they decided it was too powerful and conspired to keep it a government secret for almost a full century. When the secret remedy finally got out, the church immediately banned it because it caused too much promiscuity among older men. Since then, this resurrection remedy has been under lock and key for hundreds of years. Only a few lucky men have witnessed its power. Men like King Louis XIV, famous for his 31 mistresses, even as he aged into his 70s, and Giacomo Casanova, the most legendary seducer of all time. Legends say he drank it once, right before taking a woman to bed. In modern times, this secret was thought to be lost, until one rogue Ivy League doctor accidentally stumbled upon it and distilled it into a simple recipe that any man can make to turn back the clock on his sex life. For the first time ever, in today's one-time video, this Harvard-trained doctor is revealing this groundbreaking, libido-boosting, erection-firming recipe to the world. So for the next few minutes, I'd like to ask that you please make sure you won't be distracted. Put your phone on silent and listen closely to every word I'm about to tell you, because this video may not be up for long and you need to know these secrets. There we sat in the world-renowned Dr. Wood's office, and all of a sudden, my gorgeous wife of 19 years began crying like a baby. Is it me? Am I not sexy enough? I've read a book on blowjobs. I've tried buying lingerie. I don't know what else to do, Frank. I broke out into a cold sweat. This was gut-wrenching, humiliating. I wanted to run out of the office, turn on the car, and head straight home. But as I looked up at the plaques from Harvard and Georgetown hanging up on Dr. Wood's walls, as I thought back to his provocative TV appearances on ABC, NBC, and Fox, and how we'd waited 6 months on the doctor's waitlist to secure our appointment, well, I knew that giving up now wasn't an option. "Oh my God, are you watching porn?" she went on. "Am I not young enough? Not pretty enough?" Truth is, Scarlett was as beautiful as she'd ever been. I would give anything to be able to perform for her, anything. How could I tell her that it was me that was broken, not her? How could I tell her that I didn't even feel like a man anymore? How could I tell her about the shame and humiliation that I felt when I would even go on Pornhub and see these women 20 years younger than her doing these incredibly dirty things I could never ask her to do? And even then, no matter what, I barely felt a thing. "Frank, what is wrong? What am I doing wrong?" she begged me. I stared up helplessly at the doctor, who'd been sitting there quietly. He paused for a moment, looked us over appraisingly, and finally looked at Scarlett and asked her, "Scarlett, what if I told you I could show you something right now that could give your husband the raging, rock-hard sexual power of a teenager pretty much on command?" I paused, a sinking feeling in my stomach that I was about to be disappointed, yet again. But what the doctor told us next changed our lives. He said, "Several years ago, while helping a 76-year-old patient whose deflated performances were destroying his marriage, I happened to read an obscure research paper about King Montezuma II. Now, you may not know who Montezuma is, or maybe you've only heard his name when you think of Montezuma's Revenge, but here's the truth. Montezuma was the last Aztec emperor who ruled until 1520, when the Spanish conquered his empire. The Aztecs were one of the most advanced civilizations in the world, and what you probably don't know about Montezuma is this. He was one of the most virile men in history, a man whose erections were actually legendary. It was almost as if he had an on button for getting rock hard on a moment's notice. King Montezuma was so fertile that at the time the Spaniards captured him, an astonishing 50 of his wives were said to be pregnant, despite him being an elder, almost double the age the average Aztec lived to. His age just didn't seem to have any effect on his gargantuan erections. How do you think he was able to do it? Good genetics, I responded. Dr. Wood chuckled. Well, that's what historians and scientists assumed, but my new research proves he had a secret weapon. A strange, potent resurrection remedy he drank from a golden goblet every single day. He was even said to drink an extra glass before meeting a lady friend. This resurrection remedy was so powerful that when the invading Spaniards caught wind of it, they immediately stole the recipe and sealed it as an official government secret for almost 100 years. After it was unsealed by the government, the church quickly banned it because it gave men so much uninhibited lust and such powerful erections that they stood up at the wrong times during church. I ended up sifting through hundreds of pages of ancient texts and historical accounts, and the more I read on this secret drink, the more intrigued I became. Why didn't more people know about it? What forces were at play here? In 1660, the Spanish princess Maria Theresa was wed to King Louis XIV in France to end over 2 decades of war between the countries. When she came to France and brought this secret recipe with her from Spain, mayhem ensued. The drink became renowned for its hardening, aphrodisiac power among her husband Louis and the wealthiest members of his royal court. Maria Theresa must have regretted sharing this recipe with King Louis because he ended up having 31 mistresses that were documented, resulting in over a dozen illegitimate children. Then, a little later, in 1750, the legendary seducer Giacomo Casanova caught wind of this formula while visiting Paris. It's been said this remedy was his secret weapon that gave him the rock-hard energy to please a woman all night, even into his 70s. Legends say that he drank it each time before making love to a woman. I cut the doctor off suspiciously. Those legends all sound promising, doctor, but is there any science to back any of this up? The doctor chuckled and said, "There is loads of science to back this up. You see, my research proved that Montezuma's drink was full of a very specific type of replenishing nutrient, a nutrient that scientists are now realizing could be a godsend for men with limp sexual performances. I call them the firming flavonoids." I didn't have any scientific background whatsoever, so I asked, "Well, what are flavonoids?" "Well," he replied, "they're the super ingredients that give fruits and vegetables their color. They are what make fruits and vegetables healthy." Now, there are thousands of different types of flavonoids, all with different health benefits, but a scarce few of them that you won't find in most fruits and vegetables have a unique firming effect. An effect that quickly opens the floodgates on a man's blood flow, helping him achieve rock-hard erections at the exact moment he wants them. You see, using the prescriptions you tried, that's like putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound. I don't want you to have to learn this the hard way. Those pills, they might help for a little bit in the short term, but in the long run, they ignore the real problem, and if anything, make it worse. "So what's the real problem?" I asked. "Constricted arteries in your penis," he responded. "Plaque builds up and the veins get narrower. Look, I don't care if your problem started as psychological, a blood flow issue, or even if it's testosterone related. When you can naturally clean out your arteries and open up the blood flow to your penis, you're going to get hard. And that's exactly what these firming flavonoids do. And those blue and yellow prescriptions that you've been using, they have a glaring weakness. Not only are they extremely expensive, ranging from $10 to $60 per pill for pure, unadulterated pills, they're also quite literally poison. Yes, they work by poisoning an enzyme in your body which blocks blood from your penis. They may work at first, giving you a false sense of confidence until you become dependent on them. And then they stop working. And now your penis is deader than ever. Plus, they could kill you if you're crazy enough to buy them from online pharmacies. 77% of pills sold online are completely fake and filled with dangerous synthetic compounds. The firming flavonoids work very differently from those prescriptions. They work all naturally by combating the root cause of your soft sexual performances, by expanding and clearing a man's blood vessels in his penis, clearing out the arteries in that area, which also helps protect you against heart disease. Did you know that men with erection difficulties in their 40s have a 50-fold increased risk of having a cardiac event like sudden death? It's scary, but true. Your penis is filled with arteries, just like the arteries leading to your heart. But your penis's arteries are much smaller, so when plaque builds up and the blood vessels constrict, you'll notice it in your penis far before you notice it in your heart, which is why Harvard Health Publishing writes that erection issues are often the first warning sign of a far more serious heart issue. But the remarkable thing about Montezuma's ancient remedy, unlike prescriptions or supplements, it addresses the root cause of both of these issues. The more I researched, the more the truth became clear. Montezuma's secret was overflowing with more of these rare, firming flavonoids than I'd ever seen in any compound. The doctor pulled out a piece of paper and jotted down several ingredients and the exact dosages to get. He said, "Listen, this discovery saved my patient's marriage. It also worked for 6 other of my patients to give them jaw-dropping erections, pretty much on command. Every ingredient I've listed is natural and safe, and jam-packed with these firming flavonoids. Would you like to give them a try?" Scarlett looked at me hopefully. Me, I was a bit more skeptical. I guess, I replied. After we left the doctor's office, Scarlett and I went to 4 different health food stores to try to find the right ingredients. They weren't cheap, but if they could fix my problem, they'd be worth 100 times what I paid for them. The last ingredient I had to source online because the potencies at my local health store just weren't what the doctor ordered. A week later, we finally had all the ingredients, and I eagerly mixed them into my coffee. After the first day, nothing. The second day, still no results. At this point, I was starting to think this really was too good to be true. Until the third day. When I came back from work, I looked at Scarlett, and I felt something. A lust that I hadn't felt in years. My eyes lingered on her breasts for just a moment, and I felt a little bit of a bulge beginning to grow in the seams of my pants. But to be honest, I was scared. I thought maybe it was a total fluke, the placebo effect. And I thought that if I tried to have sex, I'd probably just humiliate myself again. So I rushed off to the bathroom and waited a full 2 minutes until my erection subsided. The next morning, Scarlett took matters into her own hands. I woke up to a strange, wet feeling on my penis and let out a deep moan as I realized Scarlett was sucking on my ginormous, throbbing manhood. And oh my goodness, it was divine, like a fine dish that I hadn't had in years and had totally forgotten about. My beautiful wife, completely turned on, doing everything in her power to pleasure me. A few minutes later, I climaxed. No words were said. We just embraced each other, and I felt Scarlett's warm tears flow from her face onto my shoulders. Only this time, her tears weren't tears of desperation or inadequacy. No, these were tears of joy. At this point, I was convinced that the doctor's recipe truly was something special. Over the next few weeks, I kept mixing the ingredients in a drink every single day, and I'm happy to report the effect did not slow down. Quite the opposite. It got bigger and better. We had spontaneous sex at least once a day, sometimes up to 3 times per day on weekends. We even made a game of it, trying to beat our record. Every Saturday, we'd plan a romantic dinner date, and even before the date started, I felt the confidence of a man who could perform. And that confidence, that may have been the best part, as it completely erased the debilitating, crippling shame that washed over me every time I'd failed to perform for Scarlett in the past. And I have to admit, it wasn't just Scarlett that noticed my new confidence. I found Jenny, the receptionist at work, staring at me in some kind of way and saying, "Hey, something's different about you." Other women could sense it, a female intuition, I guess, and I noticed Scarlett getting a bit more jealous as she saw the new attention I was getting from other women. Not crazy jealous, but just jealous enough for her to start putting in a little extra effort. I noticed that she increased her workouts from twice a week to 4 times a week and purchased sexier, more revealing clothing that turned me on beyond belief. And most amazing of all was all the other ways this magically improved our relationship that I hadn't even expected. All the little things we used to argue about, the chores, the household duties, the bills, Scarlett just dropped those issues. It really is astonishing how all the little problems in a relationship can instantly vanish when you can make a girl come over and over again with a rock-hard erection. Now, before I tell you exactly what these firming flavonoids are and how to source them, I have to tell you about the one thing I wasn't too pleased with Scarlett about. She talks a lot. This means that when I was having my difficulties, many of her friends knew, and they were probably laughing at me behind my back. But now that I was rocking her world in bed, Scarlett told all of her friends, and many of them begged her for the formula. In fact, they had the bright idea to pool together their money and order them in larger quantities. This was actually great. It saved me a lot of money on ingredients, but the problem is that, like I mentioned, girls talk. And the moment that the formula started working for Scarlett's friends' husbands, their friends started calling Scarlett. And then their friends' friends started calling Scarlett. In just 2 months' time, Scarlett and I were stuck ordering and making the formula for a whopping 39 couples. All in all, 33 out of the 39 couples saw massive, jaw-dropping results within several weeks and begged us to make more batches. But for 6 men, it just didn't work for them like it worked for me. I wrote it off as, hey, well, nothing works for everybody. 33 out of 39 is still great. However, when we returned to Dr. Wood for our follow-up, he was visibly upset when we told him about our 85% success rate. That's just not good enough. Just not good enough, he said. He insisted on interviewing those 6 men. And here's what he found. While the firming flavonoids address the root cause of flimsy erections for the vast majority of men, most of these 6 men dealt with a secondary cause, performance anxiety. Maybe they couldn't get it up once or twice in the past, and that caused them to develop some sort of mental block that prevented them from performing to this day. Or maybe they had a larger libido issue. Dr. Wood told me that this wasn't a huge surprise the more he thought about it, as it's a scientific fact that sexual arousal starts in the mind. So Dr. Wood spent the next 6 weeks searching for other ingredients that addressed this issue. He insisted on only including ingredients which met his strict criteria. 1, they must be all natural and come from the earth, no synthetics. 2, they must be clinical grade. And 3, they must be used at clinically studied doses for safety and effectiveness. Finally, he finished concocting a blend to add to the formula. A blend designed to erase your performance anxiety by turbocharging your libido to a level so high that it just doesn't matter whether you're a bit anxious or not. Dr. Wood calls this the libido override effect. Now, we were all cautiously optimistic when we saw the studies backing up the ingredients in his blend. But when the results came in, they blew away our wildest expectations. 5 out of the 6 men who didn't see initial results, they now reported having stunning, unrelenting sexual power. Not only that, it also amplified the effect for men already having success with Montezuma's recipe, making them feel even harder and giving them even more drive and staying power. Dr. Wood theorized that these ingredients may have a synergistic effect, which means they are much more powerful together than they are alone. At this point, 38 out of the 39 couples were urging us to make another batch. So in just a moment, I want to reveal these exact ingredients. But first, let's hear from some of those couples. Like Cassie from St. Louis, who wrote this. Before I got a hold of Dr. Wood's formula, our marriage was extremely limp. We were both sick of dealing with this issue. Whenever it was time for sex, he just stayed shriveled up like a prune. His penis seemed dead. It got so awful I even looked into getting a divorce for impotence. As awful as that sounds, is it really fair for me to give up my sex life because of his problem? Nowadays, I make sure he takes the ingredients daily. He looks at me like he hasn't in years. On weekends, we'll have sex up to 3 times per day, which is impressive at his age. He's able to give me a rock-hard performance every time. Thank you. Here's what Ryan from Arlington, Texas had to say. I had always just assumed that at my age, the cruel reality was I should stop having sex. Sex is for younger people, so we hadn't even tried in years. But like Dr. Wood showed me, if you want to revive a man's penis, it's just a matter of giving him these firming flavonoids. Once I started taking the ingredients, my sex life did a complete 180. Now, Cheryl and I do the deeds almost once per day. I can't remember a time in our marriage when I had this raging of a drive. Just looking at an attractive girl makes me stiffen up. And then there's Jacob from Sunnyvale, California. My wife is absolutely loving the new me. It feels like I have complete control over my crotch rocket. I just turned 83, and even when I was in my 20s, I don't remember being ready to go on command like I am now. I see why Montezuma kept this a secret. This stuff is stronger than anything I've ever taken, and I've tried it all. We are so grateful. Please feel free to publish this, and if anyone has any questions, they are welcome to email me at jakesnyder1928@gmail.com. But despite all of these successes, there was still one major problem. With the new high-grade ingredients, costs were now astronomical. A 30-day supply of them at the proper strength was well over $400. A small price to pay for turning the clock back on your sex life and making you feel the drive of a teenager, but still not cheap. I asked Dr. Wood, I wonder if we went straight to a manufacturer, maybe that would help cut costs? He agreed that it was worth pursuing. The issue was these ingredients at the purity the doctor demanded were so scarce, only a handful of manufacturers had access to them. This presented a number of challenges, yet we were determined to make this affordable, so we spent a full 6 months searching for the right partner. We found 3 pretty good candidates, but one really stood out from the rest: Supernatural Man. Supernatural Man's entire mission is to turn back the clock for men who think they are over the hill, giving men like you supernatural sexual powers, so you can enjoy the raw lust, hardness, and sexual power you thought was long lost. On top of that, they were the only company that had access to the world's highest quality versions of these natural botanicals. And after Dr. Wood thoroughly vetted them in their facilities, he was blown away by the exhaustive testing they do to ensure the quality, purity, and safety of their ingredients. Since then, Supernatural Man has invested over $120,000 sourcing, refining, and perfecting these botanicals. In fact, they're even in negotiations to secure exclusive access to scarce reserves of some of the more hard-to-come-by ingredients. This means that you may never see ingredients of this purity and power from anyone else ever. Which is why we're happy to announce that we've teamed up with the world-renowned Dr. Eric Wood and Supernatural Man for the launch of this cutting-edge new formula. We call this breakthrough formula Montezuma's Secret. Yeah, it's a little corny, but we wanted to pay homage to Montezuma's secret recipe that inspired this formula. Plus, we wanted to name it something innocent and discreet, so no one except for you knows about the shocking power this all-natural formula gives you. The power to resurrect your limp, lifeless sex drive and deliver a mind-blowing sexual experience to your partner. Supernatural Man guarantees it. I'll tell you more about that in a second. Dr. Wood poured his heart into this formula. It truly is something special, and I'm confident that you'll agree. It's the first formula of its kind, the first formula designed to give you rock-hard erections on command by addressing the root cause of performance issues, constricted blood vessels and clogging of the arteries. Like I mentioned before, your penis has blood vessels, just like your heart does. But the blood vessels in your penis are narrower, so issues will arise there before something worse happens to your heart. So not only will Montezuma's Secret support healthy erections, it is also designed to help support a healthy heart. On top of that, Montezuma's Secret also addresses the secondary cause of performance issues, performance anxiety and low libido, transforming your sexual anxiety and embarrassment into intense arousal. Comparing Montezuma's Secret to other formulas that claim to help with your erections, that's like comparing a brand new Ferrari to a 20-year-old Ford Pinto. There is just no comparison. The quality of the ingredients, the care that goes into each bottle, the unique manufacturing process, it's all world class. Each bottle of Montezuma's Secret is made right here in the United States, in a manufacturing facility that is Good Manufacturing Practices certified, and every batch is sent to an independent third-party laboratory after it's made, where they test and analyze it for purity and quality, ensuring that what you see on the label is exactly what you get inside each and every small, easy-to-swallow capsule. Now, I've talked a lot about these remarkable ingredients, so I think it's time to reveal every all-natural ingredient in this breakthrough formula. First is the main ingredient in Montezuma's secret recipe, the one Montezuma famously drank from his golden goblet before any sexual encounter to help give him astonishing erections: cacao flavanols. That's right, the super ingredient found in chocolate. Harvard epidemiologist and nutritionist Dr. Eric Ding said this: high flavanol cocoa improves blood flow, which benefits the entire body. Interestingly, erectile dysfunction is also fundamentally a circulation problem. Viagra is also shown to improve flow-mediated dilation, similar to cocoa. We've all heard that chocolate is a natural aphrodisiac, and it turns out the science proves this is more true than we ever imagined. Cocoa is the #1 primary supplement for men's libido and blood flow on Examine.com, the top unbiased source for supplements and nutrition online. Yet we haven't found it in one men's sexual performance supplement. Why? Probably because the pure, unadulterated cacao, like the one that you'll find in Montezuma's Secret, is extremely expensive. You see, the cacao mixture that King Montezuma drank is very different than the chocolate you see in stores, even so-called healthy chocolate. His cacao drink was unsweetened, just pure flavonoid-rich cacao. Yet Supernatural Man took it one step further, using a proprietary low-heat extraction and drying method to preserve as many antioxidant-rich firming flavonoids as possible, giving you the maximum effect and helping open the floodgates on your healthy blood flow from head to toe. You'll get a minimum of 450 milligrams of pure Peruvian cacao extract every day, unleashing a tidal wave of rock-hard mass and stamina for you to use when it counts, pretty much on command. And to make sure that you get even more flavonoids, you're getting a distilled blend of 7 other fruits packed with firming flavonoids to give your performance an even bigger boost. Just south of Montezuma's Aztec Empire, another group of empires and elites had their own secret ingredient. They jealously guarded this exciting ingredient, nicknaming it the lost crop of the Andes. Their royal guard would send brave, highly skilled gatherers and climbers to climb up the Andes Mountains just to pick this crop. Not every gatherer survived, but the ones who did came back to deliver one of the most valuable commodities in the world at the time, Lepidium mayeni. This rare root is renowned for its ability to enhance libido and improve erections. The improvements can continue for up to 8 weeks of taking it until you finally plateau, and this rock-hard, confident version of yourself that you may have thought was lost becomes the new you. On the other side of the world of Montezuma in the Andes, there was another natural ingredient that was just as revered as cacao flavonoids. In China, it's traditionally called the king of all herbs. And Emperor Shen Nung famously urged elder members of his court to use it when they had erection difficulties. So what is the king of all herbs? Korean Panax ginseng. Now, this next part is crucial. Not all ginsengs are created equal. The purest forms take years to cultivate, and knockoffs are all too common. So even if you've tried ginseng before, chances are it wasn't pure enough or at a high enough dose to have any real effect. Yet Supernatural Man settles for nothing less than the best. They've secured a supply of some of the most potent, rare Korean Panax ginseng in the world to add to Montezuma's secret, designed to help you achieve and maintain jaw-dropping erections on command. And the last ingredient is very, very special. Legend has it that some of the most virile, aggressive, ambitious men in history used it. Men like Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. Ancient texts say that a Chinese physician noticed the animals on his farm having sex as many as 100 times per day when they ate this strange plant. And here's where it gets really interesting. It works in a similar way to Viagra, helping inhibit PDE5 in your body. And it works so well that the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office Appeals Committee used it as evidence to invalidate the patent on Viagra, which made Pfizer furious because they had argued Viagra was the first of its kind. But the courts ruled otherwise because they acknowledged that this herb has been used for thousands of years in the same way as Viagra. The name of that ingredient? Barrenwort leaves, or epimedium. Infamous medicine hunter Chris Killam wrote this about the plant. In the study, 25 healthy men and 13 who used Viagra received daily doses for 45 days of the epimedium-based herbal formula. Results of the study showed that daily use of the herbal complex for a minimum of 45 days resulted in an enhancement of sexual satisfaction in 60% of healthy male subjects and 45% of men using Viagra. Does it work? Considering a long history of positive use and the study noted above, we can probably say yes. That's right, the study he's referring to suggests a shocking 33% increase in sexual satisfaction over subjects who took Viagra, which some consumers pay as much as $20 or $30 a pill for. Its firming effects are truly stunning, and when you combine pure unadulterated cacao with the proprietary firming flavonoid blend and these other erection firming ingredients all at clinical doses, well, it gives you a powerful synergistic effect, meaning these ingredients are many times more powerful when taken together than if you were to take them individually. There are very limited supplies of these superior quality ingredients. That's not a marketing gimmick, it's a fact. Almost every ingredient is sourced from hard-to-reach corners of the world, and Supernatural Man spares no expense acquiring the purest, most potent extracts known to man. This is why Montezuma's secret works unlike anything else out there. But it's also why running out of inventory is a constant risk. That being said, we don't want any man to have to live with weak erections when it doesn't have to be that way at all. which is why in just a few moments, I'm going to show you how to stock up on Montezuma's Secret at a lower price than ever before while we still have some in stock. But first, what can you reasonably expect when you take Montezuma's Secret? Well, everybody is different, so consult with your doctor first. But imagine waking up every morning with a rock-hard erection. Imagine a stunning increase in libido and sexual drive. As you look at your wife, or any woman you want, start to fantasize and feel your manhood bulging at the seams of your pants like when you were a teenager. Imagine never having to worry about shameful, humiliating sexual performances. You know the ones I'm talking about, the ones where she pats you on the back and tells you it's not that big of a deal, but deep down, you and I both know she's judging you, or worse, planning her escape. Imagine the look of respect, awe, and lust on your partner's face when you're able to deliver her breathtaking orgasm after orgasm after orgasm as you cement your status as her king. Imagine her treating you better in every aspect of your relationship as your sex life becomes something to brag about. That's the power of strong, healthy, rock-hard erections on command. That's the power of Montezuma's Secret. Now, at this point, I need to kick a few people off this presentation and make it clear who Montezuma's Secret is not for. Montezuma's Secret is for men. Although all the ingredients are safe for both sexes, we have not tested it on any women and cannot speak to their results. More specifically, it's for responsible men. Let's be honest, in today's society, you can get in a lot of trouble for any pass that you make at a woman. Montezuma's Secret is very likely to make you extremely confident around women, your wife, your girlfriend, all women. So I need you to promise me that you're going to act responsibly with your new sexual superpowers, okay? Dr. Eric Wood is one of the most well-respected doctors in the world. With social media being the way it is these days, if even one of our customers does something stupid and blames Montezuma's Secret, well, Dr. Wood and I are going to be very embarrassed. So if you're disrespectful to women, or don't know how to treat women with class, if you're a sex offender, or if you just don't trust yourself to use your new power responsibly, then please leave this page immediately. This is not for you. And lastly, Montezuma's Secret is for men who are serious about taking action. The new, confident you starts today. And I'm not interested in sharing this world-class breakthrough with tire kickers. I'm only interested in sharing it with real men. Men who don't hesitate when they want something. Fair? Okay. Because you've been paying attention so far, you're probably starting to realize that Montezuma's Secret is the only solution that targets the root cause of weak erections, clogged, narrow blood vessels in the penis, while also addressing the secondary cause, performance anxiety and poor libido. And you may even be imagining all the ways your life is going to improve when you reward yourself with this advanced formula today. And it's only natural that you might have some questions, like how can you secure your supply, and how much does it cost, and how much do you need to take? And I'm going to answer all of those questions. But first, I have a question for you. What would it be worth to you to escape the humiliating nightmare your weak, limp erections have caused? What would it be worth for you to achieve the rock-hard erections of a man in his 20s, spring up into action on a moment's notice, and deliver mind-numbing full-body orgasms to your partner over and over and over? What's it worth to never have to worry about going limp or soft when you're inside of her, and to guarantee that you'd never be secretly laughed at by women behind your back? Can you really put a price on rock-solid, firm, long-lasting sexual power? No. Most men would say those things are priceless. Many men have shelled out thousands of dollars on dangerous prescription treatments, injections, and life-changing surgeries, all in the hope of better erections. This is a horrible mistake. Why? Because those treatments don't address the root cause and have awful, life-changing consequences in the long run. Consequences you can no longer ignore. When Dr. Wood sourced the original ingredients and then perfected the formula with his flavonoid blend and 3 other erection-enhancing ingredients, they cost over $400. Now, the lucky men who have already experienced Montezuma's Secret would tell you it's worth 100 times that amount. But Supernatural Man has secured the highest quality extracts of these ingredients in bulk. Because of that, you won't pay $400 today. You won't even pay $300. Look, the manager of our manufacturing facility said we'd be crazy to sell this for a penny less than $200. But Dr. Wood and I wanted to do something special for this release. It's really important to us to make this affordable for the average man. Our goal from the beginning wasn't to make a bunch of money, but rather to help a motivated group of men experience an explosive sex life that they thought was long gone. But Dr. Wood and I, we took that to an extreme. We chose to completely disregard the profit margins supplement companies normally make. We chose instead to make you, our customer, our #1 priority, and to worry about profits later. which is why today you won't even pay the retail price of $149.99 for one bottle. You're getting this revolutionary formula at the incredible low price of just $99 while supplies last. But wait, there's actually more. To celebrate the release of today's batch, the first 500 orders will receive an even more shocking discount. Today, you can get your very own bottle of Montezuma's Secret delivered in a discreet package to your home for just $69. After the 500th order, the price will shoot back up to $99. And that's just the start. To get the best results from Montezuma's Secret, you need to continue taking it. Some of these incredible ingredients work faster than you ever dreamed possible, while others take several weeks to build up in your system, giving you a long-term, long-lasting effect without having to worry about popping a pill before every sexual encounter. We want you to enjoy these effects long term, and for that reason, we've created a special one-time discount for you today, giving you an even bigger savings when you stock up and purchase multiple bottles. That way, you can avoid out of stocks, because listen, the last thing I want for you is to start taking Montezuma's Secret, experience amazing manhood maximizing results, only to find yourself unable to reorder. Which is why, as a part of today's fast action discount, on this page only, I'm authorized to gift you an even bigger discount when you buy multiple bottles. On top of that, when you order multiple bottles, Supernatural Man will also cover your shipping and handling, and give you 5 life-changing ebooks and video programs valued at $236.92, which you'll find more about on the next page. This means it is a no-brainer to take advantage of your maximum order today, which we are strictly limiting to 6 bottles per person. Look, Montezuma's Secret is a premium supplement. The cost of sourcing these exotic ingredients isn't cheap, but what would you rather do? Waste your money on a cheap sexual enhancement supplement that does nothing, or pay a more than reasonable price for a clinical strength formula that delivers on every promise I've made? Don't be fooled by cheap imitations. Nothing comes close to the explosive power and quality of this formula. Nothing. And today, you're getting the lowest price you will ever see from Montezuma's Secret, anywhere, ever, period. So if you're watching right now, congratulations. You are still eligible for this incredible fast action discount. There is space left, and I've reserved your supply for the next 7 minutes, at which point your spot may be forfeited and passed on to the next lucky man. So act now and click the button below this video. Today, this video is being released to hundreds of thousands of men on dozens of popular websites and email lists. Everybody and their brother will want to take advantage of this discount, so do not put your decision off. Because if you procrastinate and tell yourself you'll come back later, another man may get the spot that I have personally reserved for you. And in order to make your decision to act now even more of a no-brainer, we're offering you an industry-best guarantee, the triple back guarantee. Here's the deal. If you're like the overwhelming majority of Montezuma's Secret users, then you'll be blown away by your results taking this. But if for whatever reason you aren't satisfied, if your erections don't feel firmer, fuller, more powerful, if your libido doesn't skyrocket, if your partner doesn't tell you this is the best sex I've ever had, heck, even if you don't like the logo on the bottle, simply call Supernatural Man's US-based customer support team at 800-251-9316 or email us at support@becomesupernatural.com. And not only will we refund your money, we will also let you keep your entire supply of Montezuma's Secret, and we'll give you a free bottle of any other supplement in Supernatural Man's inventory, which is triple your value back. That contact information will be in your discreet package as well. Supernatural Man is a legitimate family-operated business. If you don't experience extraordinary results, Supernatural Man doesn't want your money. Hey, not every supplement works for every person. No matter how amazing these ingredients are, every human body is different. That's just the honest-to-God truth. We don't make pie-in-the-sky promises that we can't live up to. If you're like the vast majority of Montezuma's Secret users, your results will make you feel like a new man. But if that's not the case for you, then we will find a better solution for you, and we'll do so at our expense. So once again, if you decide you're not completely satisfied, here's what we're willing to do. 1, let you keep your supply. 2, give you a full refund. And 3, gift you a brand new bottle of any other product in Supernatural Man's inventory. You cannot lose here. Supernatural Man is basically taking on 300% of the risk, while you risk nothing when you give Montezuma's Secret a try today. Will some people take advantage of this ridiculous guarantee? Sure, there's always going to be that type of person out there, but I'm hoping that you're not that type of guy, because when you experience the life-changing benefits of Montezuma's Secret, I know you're going to be so grateful, and I'm betting the only reason you're going to reach out is to write in and tell us about your life-changing results. This offer is available on this page only. This video is your only opportunity to take advantage of this insane discount, but you must act immediately. Click the button below this video, secure your package, and get your hands on this groundbreaking formula. Listen, what would you rather feel? The shame and embarrassment of looking down and seeing your manhood shrink back down and shrivel up as your lover's disappointment sets in? Or the rock-solid sexual confidence of knowing you can get as hard as you want and deliver your lover earth-shattering performances that make her feel addicted? What would you rather feel? It's your choice to make. It's your decision. But whatever you decide, you must act fast. This is a you snooze, you lose situation. So here's exactly what's going to happen when you click the button below this video and select your package. You'll be taken to the confirmation page, and if there's still supplies left, then you'll simply enter your payment information on our secure checkout form. You'll click the Complete My Order button, and you'll test drive Montezuma's Secret risk-free for the next 180 days. And you can feel completely confident that your order is private and your information is safe, because we've encrypted the checkout page with the latest 256-bit security software, which means it's military grade, so your personal information is as protected as the data for secret US fighter jet designs. I've even got my security system verified by the same companies that verify websites like Amazon.com and Apple.com. You'll see the trust badges and certificates on the page, so you can feel totally secure when you click the button below and claim your discount. And then, in just a few days' time, a small, discreet package will arrive in your mail, and you can begin to experience these amazing maximum strength erections that you've been dreaming of, while avoiding the shame of not being able to perform. So lock in your discount now. Click the button below, fill out the form, and get started. So right now, you have a simple choice. You're at a fork in the road. One road is well-traveled. It's cracked, bumpy, and full of potholes. This is the same road that you've been on for years. Where does it lead? Right back to the sex life that you have now. The humiliation and shame will continue. When you try to please your partner, they're going to be annoyed and frustrated with you, and maybe even planning their exit. If you continue down this path, it leads to a dark, desperate place. I call this the risky road. Why? Because you're literally risking your sex life being over forever and never having a great sexual experience again as the problem gets worse and worse and worse. You'll risk your partner looking to other men for satisfaction because you just can't get the job done. And as sad as it is, it's the truth. You'll risk dying sexless, sad, and all alone. And listen, I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer when I talk about this, but that's just the reality of the situation, and I have to be frank about it. And if you go down that road, it will be because you didn't have enough courage right now in this moment to give this a fair shot. But there's another road, another path. I call it the easy road. Simply get this life-changing breakthrough formula discreetly delivered right to your doorstep, and your sex life can now be a fun, easy, enjoyable ride. Brand new pavement, pristine and smooth, an absolutely delightful trip to your second sexual prime. Experience the raw sexual power, desire, and rock-hard erections that you had in your 20s. When you choose this road, you'll arm yourself with a world-class, one-of-a-kind, all-natural formula. A truly unfair edge in the bedroom, which means that special someone, the one that you've been thinking about all presentation, well, don't be surprised if she starts looking at you in a new way. On a primal level, she'll be addicted to you in a way that she's never felt before with anyone. All for less than $2 per day, depending on which package you choose. And your results are 300% guaranteed with your triple back guarantee. Look, I can't make this decision for you, but in my humble opinion, this should be a no-brainer. I want you to be a part of the group of men experiencing their second prime. So try it out. You have up to 180 days to experience these results risk-free. And if for any reason whatsoever you aren't experiencing a turbocharged, raging sex drive, if you aren't experiencing jaw-dropping, rock-solid erections on command, if you still aren't able to give your partner the back-arching, screaming orgasm she so desperately craves, If the humiliating nightmare of lifeless erections isn't a thing of the past, if you're unsatisfied for any reason whatsoever, then just send us an email or give us a call, and you'll promptly get your money back. And get a new bottle of any other Supernatural Man product quickly delivered to your doorstep. This truly is a no-lose, risk-free situation for you. So listen closely. Right now is not a time for hesitation. It's a time for action. Your time is running out. I can't guarantee your fast action discount for much longer, so go ahead, click that button, and get what every man wants deep down. A second sexual prime, many times more powerful than your first. Look, if you haven't claimed your spot yet, you're probably on the fence about your decision, and that's totally fine. I get it. It's a significant investment, even with today's massive discount, and I want you to be sure that you're making the right decision. So here's a very important question I want you to ask yourself right now. What would it be worth to you? To look into the eyes of your partner or someone you want and to feel the blood flowing where it's supposed to go? To feel your erection spring into action on command at the exact moment you want it? To eliminate the shame of not being able to perform and the humiliation of seeing your partner's disappointment? What's that worth to you? What's it worth to know without a shadow of doubt that your partner will probably never leave you because you're giving her rock star performances in bed? Relationship experts don't really like to talk about this, but what's the number one way to get a woman completely addicted to you? It's giving her the best sex that she's ever had. And elite erection power is the easiest, fastest way to do that. And that's exactly what Montezuma's Secret was designed to give you. That's what I want you to experience. So click the button below this video right now. This is the exact same secret Aztec emperors kept to themselves for so many thousands of years. The same secret that kings like Louis XIV used, and even the same secret that Giacomo Casanova used every time before he bed a woman. And for the first time ever, this secret is being combined with secret remedies of royal elites from across the globe, like the lost crop of the Andes, renowned among the South American nobles for many, many years in their royal guard for its amazing power to get you hard, and you're getting it at a full clinical dose. And you're also getting the king of all herbs, which was used by elites in Korea, China, and Russia to give these rich, powerful elders incredible erections well into their older years. And you're also getting fairy wings, the all-natural root renowned in China for its boner-boosting effects. Legends of its use are tied to great men like Alexander the Great and Genghis Khan. They used it to stay virile, fertile, and give women mind-blowing sexual experiences well past their primes, before blue and yellow pills even existed. Did you think that wealthy royal elites just gave up sex the instant their penis started betraying them? No way. Of course not. It's never been that way. The problem is that pharmaceutical companies can't patent natural remedies that have been used for thousands of years. So they just ignore them and pray that consumers like you aren't smart enough to find out these secrets on their own. But you are, and now, for the first time ever, you can get every single one of these royal resurrection remedies jam-packed into a small, easy-to-swallow capsule, designed to give you powerful, raw, erectile strength and power that you thought you would never experience ever again. Dr. Wood has spent countless sleepless nights perfecting this formula, and when you experience this, I'm confident you're going to be blown away by your results. Those bedroom nightmares, the ones that make women want to run into the arms of another man, well, how much of a relief is it going to be when all of that is a thing of the past? And it all starts today when you click the button below and select your discounted package. A small group of men have already been experiencing this power, delivering quivering, intense orgasms to their wives on a daily basis. And today, if you choose, you can join their ranks. And you can experience the same life-changing sexual power and erect on-command strength. Look, here's the brutal truth. If a special someone has ever left you, if you've ever been rejected by a girl that you've already been having sex with, or if you've ever been cheated on, then it probably had something to do with your bedroom performance. The statistics, they prove this. A recent study revealed that most men mistakenly believe that they have above average sex skills. But the truth is that a whopping 80% of women are faking their orgasms. And here's the thing, women would never tell you that the number one reason they leave a man is because of poor sexual performance. And they would never tell you to your face that you're lacking in that department. Want to know what they do instead? Well, they'd start more fights over small things. They'd get annoyed by the tiniest little screw-ups that you do and set unrealistic expectations and demands of you and get angry when you don't meet them. Or worse, she'd just start ignoring you altogether and pray that you figure it out on your own before it's too late and she found someone who can satisfy her. But here's the good news. If you can give a woman the best sex she's ever had, then she's going to want to stay with you forever. Here's the bottom line. It's almost impossible for a woman to leave a man with as much raging sexual power and potency as you'll feel after taking Montezuma's Secret. How could she leave you when you're in your prime, when your erections are like the ones you had as a teenager, when you can last as long as you want? It's really, really hard for her to leave you under those circumstances. And listen, don't take my word for it. Here's what Dr. Wood told me is the science behind how women feel. You see, it's a bit tougher to make women orgasm, but when they do come, it's much more powerful than when us men come. And it activates the same parts of her brain as cocaine and heroin do. And those are two of the most addicting drugs on earth. Powerful orgasms quite literally activate her addiction center, which is why when you can make her come again and again and again, she's addicted to you. She just can't help it. You're like a drug. And that's the power of opening the floodgates on your blood flow, evaporating your anxiety around performing, and supercharging your libido. The power of rock hard, bulging erections on command. The power of lasting as long as you want. The power of your penis appearing more massive than you've ever seen it because your erection is at its full potential. What are those superpowers worth to you? $10,000, $5,000, $1,000? Most of the clients who got Dr. Wood's first batch would say it's worth 100 times that amount, but you're not going to pay anything remotely close to that. For today only, you're getting an insane discount. So if you've ever felt the burning shame and embarrassment when you couldn't perform, if you've ever been unable to satisfy your partner, heck, even if you just want a little extra boost to be able to give your partner 10 out of 10 best she's ever had performances, then right now, it's not a time for hesitation. It's a time for action. It's time to man up. Click the button below. Pick your discounted package, stock up, and secure your supply before it's too late. And remember, the risk is all on our side. You have zero risk today. With today's order, you're getting an ironclad, triple-back satisfaction guarantee. You got a full 180 days to test drive your supply of Montezuma's Secret. And if you aren't satisfied for any reason whatsoever, then not only will you receive your money back within 2 to 3 business days, not only will you get to keep your supply, you will also get a free supply of any other Supernatural Man product. So we can make sure that we find the solution that's right for you. Your privacy is guaranteed, as all of those will be delivered to you in discreet packages. Your billing will also be discreet and confidential. So right now, your reserve spot may be expired. And before I go, I want to quickly recap the 3 most important reasons why you must act now and click the button below. Number 1, only 500 customers will get the fast action discount today. It's first come, first serve. Number 2, your satisfaction is assured by Supernatural Man's ridiculous triple-back guarantee. And number 3, your partner deserves this, whether she's in your life already or whether you have yet to meet her. It's time to blow her mind in the bedroom. What's happening to your body is not fair to you. However, it's not fair to your partner either, but it doesn't have to be that way. Your second prime starts right now. The instant you click the button below, select your package, and complete your order. So let's quit with the small talk and get this party started. Now is the time to act and experience the sex life you thought was long gone. Still here? Still making your decision? If you're still a bit on the fence about your decision, no worries at all. It's only natural to have some questions. A lot of guys have questions. In fact, when we released our first batch of Montezuma's Secret, emails and phone calls started pouring in. So to make your decision easier today, I decided to answer some of the most common questions right now. That way you can make your order with complete confidence right now. So the first question I get a lot is Montezuma's Secret safe, or does it have any side effects? And the answer to that is Montezuma's Secret is extremely safe. Look, those blue and yellow pills have a world of side effects. These prescriptions can make you go blind in one or both eyes. They can make you lose your hearing like they did with Hugh Hefner. They It can give you headaches, flushing, upset stomach, runny nose, back pain, muscle pain, nausea, dizziness, rashes. The list goes on and on and on. So if you're predisposed to any of those things, you should never take prescriptions for this. It's just not worth it. But Montezuma's Secret is very different. It was designed with safety first. And the first thing Dr. Wood looked at when choosing the ingredients, it was what are the potential side effects? And all of these ingredients have little to no risk of adverse effects. Of course, every human body is different, so you'll want to consult with your physician before adding any dietary supplement to your diet. But to this point, there have been no adverse effects reported by any of the users, and each of these ingredients has been independently studied to ensure that it's safe for your consumption. When you take traditional big pharma prescriptions, not only are they expensive for the real thing, but the juice often isn't worth the squeeze with all the risk that you're taking. Is it really worth it to have better erections if you go deaf or blind? No way. Not for me, at least. That's what I love most about natural medicine. There have been countless studies of ingredients that are as effective or more effective than prescriptions, and in most cases, the side effects are little to none, and that goes well beyond just men's health. So when you take your small, easy-to-swallow dose of Montezuma's Secret, you can do so with complete confidence that you're putting something that's both extremely safe and extremely effective into your body. Remember, these ingredients are both incredibly powerful in supporting rock-hard erections on command and incredibly good for your blood flow from head to toe, which is important for your heart health. If you're a man, you need to do everything in your power to reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease. It is the #1 killer of men. You don't want a heart attack, and this formula also supports a healthy heart by helping promote healthy blood flow in your arteries. So if you're like a lot of our happy customers, you'll wonder if it's safe not to take this supplement because of the tremendous benefits that you'll feel that go well beyond just better erections. The next question is, how long until I see results? Now, this varies a bit from person to person, which is why you should always consult with a doctor if you want to be sure. For me, I notice results within the first few days. For other men, it can take 10 days or longer. It's important that you keep taking this for at least a few weeks consistently so that the levels of these powerful ingredients build up in your body. That way, when you start seeing results, you can keep those results and keep experiencing that raw, rock-hard stamina, erections, and energy that women love. I would strongly recommend getting one of those 7-day pill containers and once a week putting your small dose in that container. That way, you can ensure you continue to feel the better erections, libido, stamina, and blood flow that these ingredients deliver to so many men just like you. So while some of the ingredients work very quickly, we didn't want to make this one of those pills that you need to remember to take exactly 30 minutes before sexual activity. That can be quite awkward to sneak that pill in. And what if you forget? What if you get caught up in the moment and then you forget to take the pill? I've heard a lot of stories about that. And there's nothing worse than feeling that pressure of, oh gosh, I took that pill 45 minutes ago. I better get to action quickly. That can completely ruin the romance of the moment. I want you to be able to feel that you're always ready at a moment's notice to perform for your partner on command. And that's why I would strongly recommend that you take advantage of our multiple bottle discount today, because you want to continue taking this consistently. You don't want to risk out of stocks, and you want to get your maximum discount by acting today. Another one we hear a lot is, what makes this product different? Well, prescriptions work by poisoning a healthy enzyme in your body that plays an important role in your blood flow. Montezuma's Secret, it works quite differently. It addresses the real root cause of your issue. It helps your blood flow and arteries from the inside out, rather than artificially. Why is it that cacao flavonoids are in almost no sexual enhancement supplements? Well, it's because they're quite expensive to get the real thing. Look, I have no doubt whatsoever that cheap imitations will pop up after we release this, but they will not be jam-packed with the good stuff like our formula is. You already heard a quote earlier from the world-famous best-selling author Dr. Michael Greger about how using prescriptions is a bad strategy for erections. And you saw how the top unbiased source for supplements on the internet endorsed the primary ingredient in this formula as the #1 way for a man to improve his sexual health. And we've filled this formula to the brim with other flavonoid-rich nutrients, as well as an all-star team of libido-boosting power, using the top herbs in the world, most of which have been used exclusively by royalty and wealthy elites until recent times. The root cause of the vast majority of erection issues is poor circulation in the arteries. The veins get clogged with gunk and they narrow. you'll notice it first in your penis, which has much smaller veins than the veins leading to your heart. And oftentimes, a few years later, when you finally do notice it in your heart, it's too late and you suffer a heart attack. So this root cause is quite serious. And this is the only formula that our research has shown laser focuses on this root cause. And for many guys, is proven to work. In addition, Montezuma's Secret addresses the secondary causes of poor erections, libido and performance anxiety. Dr. Wood has included a libido-boosting blend in this formula to help induce a libido override effect. Sexual arousal starts in the brain. So if your arousal circuitry isn't working like it should because of performance anxiety or any other reason, then you need this extra boost. Because Dr. Wood's formula addresses both of these issues, it has a powerful synergistic effect, turbocharging your sexual performance from both ends, starting with your brain, going down your body, and then opening the gates of your blood flow in your penis, making you feel complete power over your erections and your performance. Here's another thing that really sets Montezuma's Secret apart. Its formula. You're getting clinical strength natural compounds at the studied doses. Almost every supplement company out there underdoses their products to cut costs. They may put 1 or 2 ingredients in there that are decent, but they'll put about 1/10 of the amount that's really been studied and proven to have an effect on humans. One great example is horny goat weed. Maybe you've tried this before, it's quite popular, and it's actually an amazing ingredient in the right strength. But there's a big problem. Look at the back of the label of a horny goat weed extract. The vast majority of top-selling horny goat weed uses a diluted extract which contains only 1% of the active ingredient, Icarins. In Montezuma's Secret, we've included a 20% Icarin extract, which is best in class. This means you get a much stronger dose in a much smaller capsule. Look, this underdosing that most supplement companies engage in, it frustrates me to no end. We know that there are natural ingredients out there that put prescriptions to shame, but these shady supplement companies are ruining it for everybody. They're making supplement companies look like the bad guys and causing millions of people to choose dangerous prescriptions instead. The truth is, natural ingredients are fantastic, but you have to buy from a premium source you trust, a source like Supernatural Man. Supernatural Man tirelessly tests to ensure their supplements contain only the highest quality clinical dosages, which means they just plain work. Another common question is, what if my erections get too powerful? For me, this only happened once when I took triple the normal dose. I had an erection that lasted about 2 hours, which was a bit too long for me. If you get an erection over 4 hours, you'll want to contact your doctor, although this is very rare. This formula was designed to give you control over your erection, so you're in the driver's seat and you can use that power when you want it. It wasn't designed to give you a raging hard-on all day, even at inconvenient times throughout the day. If you get an erection that seems too hard or lasts for too long, then it's probably a good idea to start taking a smaller dose. So I urge you, please take this supplement responsibly, as directed. Too much of a good thing can be a problem. For example, if your sex drive becomes too high, you may feel like you can't control yourself as well. You need to show restraint. If you're only thinking about sex and fantasizing all day, it's going to be hard to get your work done. You might find yourself watching too much pornography when your partner isn't around, so that would be another sign that maybe it's time to decrease your dose. Again, please take this supplement responsibly. Next question we get a lot is, I had problems being faithful to my partner in the past. Will this supplement make me unfaithful to my wife? And this is a sticky question, and I think it's a deeper problem. Some people may call it a commitment problem. Others may argue that there's genetic reasons why some men are less faithful than others, and other people would just say that you had a lapse in judgment. And I can't tell you exactly why you were unfaithful in the past, but if you were unfaithful and the only reason that you've been faithful to your wife is because you can't get it up for your woman on the side, then will this supplement make you more likely to go back to your mistress? Yeah, probably, but don't come to me blaming me or Dr. Wood, because it's not the supplement's fault. A pill can't make someone unfaithful. A pill can't make decisions for you. It can only give a tune-up to your instrument, your penis, which you're using to be unfaithful. It's completely up to you what you do with that power. So if you're a guy whose life has been destroyed because of cheating and bad decisions, and you don't trust yourself to be able to make good decisions when your equipment works like it should, then it might actually be a good idea to stay away from Montezuma's Secret. However, if you're a man who simply wants to please his wife or partner, whether you've met your partner yet or not, then this formula could be the best thing to ever happen to you. Here's another one. How will I know if this is working? You'll know it's working when you feel more power and control over your erections. You'll know it's working when you notice more sexual energy and blood flow when you see someone attractive. You'll know it's working when your partner turns to you after hours of sex and whispers in your ear that this is the best sex she's ever had. When you notice a drastic increase in your sexual desire and notice more fantasies running through your head like when you were younger. You'll know it's working when you feel more sexual confidence and you feel you're ready for any romantic situation and feel that confidence of knowing without a shadow of doubt that you're able to deliver an A-plus sexual performance. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been very careful not to make up any claim that I can't back up or overpromise in any way. I fully expect this product to exceed your wildest expectations, to blow you away and to blow your partner away. That's why we offer the ridiculous triple back satisfaction guarantee. And what I can say without a shadow of doubt is this will support your erections. It will help them get bigger and stronger, all by addressing the root cause. And your heart and all the arteries in your body will be healthier as well, because you now have a formula that clears them out and helps the blood go where it's supposed to go. Another question is, can this make my penis bigger? And okay, this is an interesting question, as I believe almost every penis enlargement supplement is a total scam, and I'd strongly recommend you avoid them. That being said, this is designed to give you jaw-dropping erections. Many users report that one thing they found surprising was that their new maximized erections were bigger than they ever remembered from before. That's because in the past, they never reached what I call your full phallic potential. This is when the maximum amount of blood is flowing where it's supposed to go in your penis. When you have long-lasting, full-strength erections, then you'll be in awe of how big it is, and so will your partner, especially if you're used to those half erections that die down very quickly. There have been some reports that this can add as much as an inch and up to almost 2 inches in some cases versus those half erections, which has been an extraordinary side benefit for a lot of our lucky users. So the bottom line is we can't promise that this will make your penis bigger in any way, shape, or form. I would never promise that. But I can promise that if this doesn't help you achieve your full phallic potential and that your erections don't seem more enormous than ever, then I'd urge you to call in and get your prompt refund. Speaking of that, we get a lot of questions about the guarantee. A lot of people ask, what can you tell me about the triple back satisfaction guarantee? And that's a great question, as this guarantee is probably the best you've ever seen. It almost seems too good to be true, and a lot of people wonder, how on earth can we afford to do this? Well, here's why we can afford to offer such an incredible guarantee. Because this product works like nothing else on the market. The vast majority of our users have such massive results that they couldn't dream of their lives without Montezuma's Secret. So we're able to offer this guarantee simply because almost nobody takes advantage of it, because they want to keep taking Montezuma's Secret. And when people do take advantage of it, then there's no hard feelings at all. We make it as easy and painless as possible to take advantage of this guarantee. And we work with you to find another men's health product that works better for you. We recognize that no two human bodies are exactly alike. And if this doesn't work for you for whatever reason, then we're confident that we can find you a solution for you that does. So let's recap exactly what the triple back satisfaction guarantee is. If at any point during the next 180 days you feel you aren't satisfied for any reason whatsoever, if you don't feel a dramatic increase in libido, if your erections aren't firmer, fuller, more powerful, if your sex life isn't better than it's been in years, heck, even if you don't like the logo on the bottle, simply call Supernatural Man's US-based customer support team at 800-251-9316 or email us at support@becomesupernatural.com. And not only will we refund your money, we will also let you keep your entire supply of Montezuma's Secret. And we'll give you a free bottle of any other supplement in Supernatural Man's inventory, which is triple your value back. That contact information will be in your discreet package as well. Supernatural Man is a legitimate family-operated business. If you don't experience extraordinary results, Supernatural Man doesn't want your money. Hey, not every supplement works for every person. No matter how amazing these ingredients are, every human body is different. That's just the honest-to-God truth. We don't make pie-in-the-sky promises that we can't live up to. If you're like the vast majority of Montezuma's Secret users, your results will make you feel like a new man. But if that's not the case for you, then we will find a better solution for you, and we'll do so at our expense. Again, that's just the company Supernatural Man strives to be. So once again, if you decide you're not completely satisfied, here's what we're willing to do. 1, let you keep your supply. 2, give you a full refund. And 3, gift you a brand new bottle of any other product in Supernatural Man's inventory. You cannot lose here. Supernatural Man is basically taking on 300% of the risk, while you risk nothing by simply clicking the button below and securing your supply today. All right, next question that we get quite often is, how long will this offer be available for? And the short answer is that we're unable to guarantee today's special offer beyond midnight tonight. Supplies are extremely limited, and we reserve the right to end this special pricing at any time after midnight today. After that, all bets are off. If and when supplies run out, then this page will no longer be available, and you may never see this offer ever again. So if you think Montezuma's Secret might be right for you, then I urge you not to hesitate. Click the button below this video and take advantage of today's steep discount. Supplies last until they run out. I can't even guarantee there's enough supply left right now until you make it to the checkout page and lock in your discount. So if you want to lock in your spot, please make sure that you don't wait one more second. Just click the button and claim that discount right now. Some people wonder, how do I take Montezuma's Secret? And this part is actually very easy. It won't take more than a few seconds of your day. Remember, our ingredients, they contain very potent varieties of these herbs and extracts. They are highly concentrated, which means you don't have to deal with a bunch of huge pills that are tough to swallow, like you normally would to get anything close to this dose and this potency. We're able to fit an explosive amount of potency into a much smaller capsule. We recommend you start by taking 1 dose per day in the morning for the first week to assess your tolerance. Then, as you get a better feel for how this affects you, increase it to the recommended 2 servings per day by taking another dose before bed. That way, you can get the full clinical dose of each one of these amazing ingredients as we recommend. Taking it before bed is also great because it contains no stimulants, and sleep is a very important restorative process for your testosterone and hormones that affect your sex drive. Simply take it and then go about your day. No need to plan on any major lifestyle changes. Taking it is really the easiest part. So now that you've watched this presentation, you're far more educated about the root cause of weak erections. You now know that the root cause can be very serious indeed. When your blood vessels leading to your penis are clogged with gunk, when they're narrowed, this is often a warning sign of something far more serious with your heart and your blood flow and all of the vessels in your body. That's the bad news. But the good news is that when you address this root cause from the inside out, this can help both of these issues, both your erection issues and your potential heart issues. Look, heart disease is the #1 killer of men. Chances are higher that heart disease will kill you than anything else. Yes, heart disease is likely what's going to kill you one day. And the reason that this happens is almost always because your arteries get clogged. Today, you've learned that erection problems are often called the first warning sign of heart disease because they're much narrower. It's a symptom of a far more serious problem, which is why you're probably starting to realize why now is the time to tackle both of these very serious health issues before they become an even more serious problem. This way, you can get healthier on 2 fronts right now with the same groundbreaking supplement. Get back your maximum strength erections and help support a healthy heart so your loved ones can enjoy you being around for many, many more years to come. On top of that, you've also learned that Montezuma's Secret is a tremendous breakthrough for both of these issues. It's the only solution with top quality clinical ingredients that addresses your issue on a cardiovascular level. On top of that, you've learned that your results are guaranteed. Dr. Wood and myself are so confident that we're eliminating 100% of your risk. And you know that all of these ingredients are generally recognized as safe and extremely powerful. And lastly, you know this page may not be up for much longer, so you must act now if you want to be sure that you can take advantage of this offer. As a matter of fact, I have to leave you right now, so the ball is 100% in your court. It's totally your decision, and I respect your decision either way. But I think both you and I know what the right move is, so please, don't hesitate. If your desire, your drive, erections, and blood flow aren't what they used to be, there is a way to experience that same drive as when you were younger. Oh, and after you start seeing results, please write us in and let us know about your successes, okay? Hearing about your results is what makes our day. So have a wonderful day, and I can't wait to hear from you.